Good evening, all the centers. Yes, children, good evening. How are you? For many of us, this is the first bio class, isn't it? How are you? Yes, I can see Shillong, Testo College. And which else center is logged in? Let me know, please. Apart from Shillong and Testo College, is the other center logged in? Yes, children. So, how many students are at Shillong Center? How many of you are at Shillong Center? Tell me. It's Kohima? Yes, Kohima. Okay. This is Shillong. Just wave me your hand. Is this Shillong? Yes. Kohima, how many of you are there at Kohima Center? Yes, children. Is this Shillong? Just wave me your hand. Shillong, please share your camera port number. Shillong Center, please share your camera port number with us. Yes, Shillong. Okay, fine, thank you. And how are children at Kohima? How are you, Kohima children, today? Tell me, we are meeting after, I guess, whole 1 week. Last Monday we were here. So it's almost 10 days we have met. So how are your studies going on? Yes, Kohima? Okay, so is this Shillong Center? Just wave me your hand. Yes, children, just wave me your hand if you can see me. Just wave your hand at me if you are able to see. Okay, fine. So we are going to start a new chapter today. I'll be teaching you 17th chapter from your book, that is breathing and exchange of gases. Let's see. So what do you mean by breathing? What's the term breathing called as? What do you understand by term breathing? We'll start up with breathing and exchange of gases. Let's see. So is this Shillong? Yes? Shillong? Are we connected? Okay, fine. I guess there is some connection issue. In the meantime, we will start up the chapter. As soon as we get connected, I will be able to see you people as well. Okay, fine. So let's start up with this chapter. So what do you understand by breathing? You can at least type the answer. What do you understand by breathing? What is breathing? What do you understand by breathing? Tell me. What is breathing basically? What do you understand by breathing? Yes. Tell me, children. What do you understand by breathing? Tell me. What is breathing? Yes, tell me, I'm waiting. One of you please. Is it Shillong? Blue dress? All of you? Bio Shillong, 11th class? Just wave your hand to me, at me. It says 11th Bio Shillong. Okay. This is the first conversation, first meeting, is it? We're meeting for the first time, isn't it? Are we meeting for the first time? Let me know. Are we meeting for the first time? There's a fly constantly disturbing me. I guess it is very, very eager to study biology. Okay, fine. This fly has entered in our hall. I don't know from where. So it's constantly disturbing me. Yes, tell me. Yes, intake of fresh air and giving out stale air. Good afternoon, Kohima. How are you? Where were you till now? Okay, so fine. So we just started Kohima. We are starting with a new chapter, chapter 17 from your biology book, and that is breathing and exchange of gases. So we have studied in class 10th also under the heading life processes, what is breathing, what is digestion, what is circulation, what is respiration, okay, what is excretion, what is the movement part. So we have an idea, we have a basic idea that we have got from our class 10th syllabus. So this is going to be very easy chapter for us, okay, very easy, isn't it? It's going to be very easy, exactly. So let's see. So breathing is basically exactly what Shillong gave me the answer, very good answer. So breathing is basically when you are inhaling, isn't it? When you are inhaling and when you are exhaling. So this inhaling and exhaling has new terms now. So inhalation and exhalation is now called as inspiration, and exhalation will be, or exhaling will be called as expiration. So when you are taking in fresh air, it is said to be inspiration, and when you are giving out the used up air which is rich in carbon dioxide, it is called as expiration, isn't it? So the basic difference starts from here. Okay, I can see 3 centers logged in, Kohima, Shillong and Tetso College. Apart from that, which other center is logged in? Please let me know. Just send me a hi. Apart from Kohima, Shillong and Tetso College, just give me a hi. Okay. Okay, Satna, fine. So is it the same child from Satna, Ria, I guess? Is it? Who is from Satna? Who is logged in from Satna? Ria. Okay, fine. So let me continue. So many a times what happens is we are actually having different kinds of types of exchange of gases. So what is basically this oxygen is going? When you are inspiring, you are actually intaking what? You are intaking oxygen. And when you are expiring, okay, when you are expiring, you are giving out what? So you are intaking oxygen and you are giving out carbon dioxide. That is the basic role of breathing. That is the basic fundamental breathing process makes you able to do. So what is oxygen doing to your system? Let's see. Oxygen is utilized. Where? This oxygen is utilized to indirectly break down or oxidize nutrients like glucose, and as a result of which we get energy. The resultant part is what? We get so you have two basic mechanisms. What is they? They oxidize. Oxidize means they are broken down in presence of oxygen. That is, you are breaking down what or oxidizing what? Nutrients. What kind of nutrients? Glucose, and this is used to give you energy. So this is a process which is very, very basic to all the living organisms. So we need to have this process if you are supposedly doing respiration. Am I clear up to this? Let me know. Am I clear? All the centers? Kohima, Shillong, Tetso, Satna, tell me if I am clear up to this. Just Shillong can I can see Shillong. Okay, Kohima, have we installed a camera in your class? Do you have a camera in your class? Yes, Kohima, tell me. The process was undergoing, I know, but has it completed? Can you see? Can I see you? Okay, then can you please get idea from your coordinator, Kohima? Can you ask your coordinator to inform you or to let you know the camera port number if the camera has been installed? Okay, so Shillong, you can just give me a thumbs up whenever you get to understand a thing, okay? When you are understanding a thing, if I'm asking you, did you get it? You can just give me a thumbs up since I can see you. Okay, fine. Is it clear, all of you? Yes, Shillong. Is it clear? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Kohima. Tetso College, are we clear up to this? Please let us know. Yes, Tetso College. So what is oxygen doing in your system? Oxygen is basically breaking down the nutrients. What kind of nutrients? Nutrients like glucose, and it is giving you what? It is giving you energy. So whatever food you are eating, it's finally going to get breakdown or going to get oxidized, and you are going to get what? You are going to get a huge amount of energy from that. So this is what is oxygen is doing. So let's come to the next thing, that is carbon dioxide or CO2, which is harmful. So we all know CO2 is harmful, is released during catabolic reaction. So what is catabolism? What is catabolism? How many of you can define catabolism? Tell me. Yes, children. So what is CO2? CO2 is harmful and is released during what? During catabolic reaction. So this is what is this CO2 supposed to do. Yes, Shillong. What is catabolism? Tell me. Kohima, tell me what is catabolism? Tetso College. Tell me, children. What is catabolism? Satna, tell me. Do you have any idea about catabolism? Have you heard about catabolism earlier? Yes or no? Have you heard about catabolism earlier? Let's see what is catabolism. So there is a process which is metabolism. So what is metabolism? Let's see what is metabolism. Metabolism is sum total of what? Sum total of anabolic and catabolic reactions. So this is anabolism. What is anabolism? When you convert a simple form into a complex form. When a simple form is converted into complex form, you call it to be anabolism. And when you converting complex form to simple form, it is said to be catabolism. Just you can understand simply what I always give an example is about a vegetable. Okay, have you seen pumpkin? All of you must have seen pumpkin. Have you seen pumpkin? Tell me, yes or no? Pumpkin, have you seen? Yes, Shillong, have you seen pumpkin? Yes, otherwise I will be giving you another relatable vegetable that you must have seen. Yes, all of us have seen pumpkin. Okay, so all across India, pumpkin is a kind of dish always available. Okay, kind of vegetable always. So how do you cook pumpkin? How are you cooking it? It's complex, isn't it? Then what we do is that we bring it at our home and we peel it, we process it, that is we are cutting it into simpler forms, and after cutting in simpler forms we are going to cook it. So we cannot cook the complex substance, we need to cut it to form the simple pieces so that you can have it properly cooked, properly, you can mix all these spices, oil, salt, everything in the pumpkin. So this is cutting. So cutting is always catabolic. You can learn this way. Cut is catabolic. So when you are cutting the complex things into simpler, it is called as catabolic reaction. So basically catabolism or catabolic reactions are a type of reactions where you are breaking down complex things as in, we can talk about, like suppose I am giving you very raw example. Okay, good evening Satna. So we are, when converting glycogen to glucose, this is an example of catabolism, isn't it? When you are having a good protein diet, okay Jia, so you were there, isn't it, in the last class also? Now we have studied more things also, we have studied proteins, haven't we? We have studied proteins also in the previous classes. So you are having proteins which are broken down into what? Into amino acids. You are having what? You are having more new things, like you are having fats. You are breaking down fats into what? You are breaking down fats into fatty acids. So these are the particular substances which are undergoing what? Which are undergoing catabolism. The yellow ones are undergoing catabolism and the blue ones are the catabolic products. Means what are the particular products you are getting after the process of catabolism, isn't it? Am I clear up to this? Now taking another example, anabolism, we can very easily understand this with the process of photosynthesis, where we are taking simple substances like CO2, water, and converting it into C6H12O, that is glucose, isn't it? So this is a basic particular process with the liberation of what? With the liberation of oxygen and water. So this is a basic process which is going it is undergoing in the process of photosynthesis. So you are making a complex molecule out of what? Out of simple molecules. Simple molecules like CO2 and H2O, you are using them to form complex molecules. Okay? We are just doing what? We are just started. Let's see what we have done till now. We just started with the definition of breathing. So I just told that breathing is basically inhalation and exhalation. You are taking in is breathing in, giving out is breathing out. Then we thought about what is oxygen is doing. So oxygen is basically utilized in breaking down or oxidizing the nutrients. What kind of nutrients? Nutrients like glucose, and using that glucose, breakdown of glucose, you are actually utilizing the energy. Then we thought about that where is CO2 coming from? So CO2 is basically coming from catabolic reactions. And what is catabolism? So I told that there are two kinds of processes under the heading metabolism. So metabolism is sum total of what? Sum total of anabolism and catabolism. So anabolism is what? When you are converting simple into complex, that is photosynthesis example. And catabolism is what? When you are converting complex into simple. Complex means you are just cutting it down. C for catabolism, catabolism, cutting. Okay? all the centers, children, tell me if it is understood. Let me know. Up till now. Yes, Shillong? Did you get any idea now? Kohima, tell me. Yes. Everybody from Shillong, yes. You people are just back from school. People are just back from school. Okay, fine. Must be tired, isn't it? But what to do? No options. We also used to do the same thing. After school, we used to go to tuitions. Okay, fine. So, all these centers, Tetsu College, what happened? You're not responding. Are we connected? Let me know. So, let's move on to next topic. That is the definition of breathing. Let's define breathing now. So, how can we define breathing? We can define breathing as the process of exchange of oxygen from atmosphere with CO2 produced from cells. Am I clear? Tell me, am I clear? Keep on copying things. These things are being asked in exam. Okay. This is also called as respiration. Okay, done? Kohima, Shillong, copied? Satna, Tetsu College. Tetsu College, what happened? Why aren't you responding? Any issues? Are we connected? No. Let us talk about respiratory organs. What are the different respiratory organs? Let us talk about them. So, till now, in class 9th, you must have studied about different phyla, isn't it? You must have studied about vertebrates, you must have studied about invertebrates. So, let's see what are the different respiratory organs in different phyla. So, when you talk about respiratory organs, we will first start from the lowermost phyla, the lower invertebrates. Let's start with lower invertebrates. So, the lower invertebrates, example, sponges, coelentrates, flatworms. The diffusion takes place with entire body surface. So, you are going to diffuse, these organisms are going to diffuse with entire body surface. So, what is diffusion? Raise your hands who know diffusion. What is diffusion? Shillong, just raise your hands. And Kohima, Satna, and Tetsu College. Message me. Message me on the chat. Over here, what is? Just type in your answer. What is diffusion? How many of you know diffusion? Shillong, raise your hands. What is diffusion? Raise your hands. Let me see how many of you know diffusion. Okay, very good. So, the girl on my left near the window, can you please type for me the definition of diffusion? Shillong? Yes, third bench, the girl on besides the window. Can you please type the answer for me? Third bench. Okay, I can see some people getting up there. Okay, no problem. You can also type. No issues. Go ahead, please, Shillong. Whosoever is willing to type, please type. Whosoever is willing to type can type, no issues. Yes. Okay, very good, Satnan. Nice. Nice, Jia. Okay. And I need your answer to Kohima. What is diffusion? Please answer. I can see one more center logged in. What is it? Which center is it? Sorry, which is it? Which is the center? Just send me a hi. I won't be able to know. Just let me know which is the other center logged in, apart from Satna, Kohima, Shillong, and Tetsu College. Yes. So I got an answer from Satna. Very good. I'm waiting for more answers. This is an easy question. I need all of you to participate in this question answering. Please. It's a very easy question. Very good, Shillong. Very nice. It seems that exactly what Satna has typed, exact answer is coming from Shillong too. Very good. Keep it up. Kohima, I'm still waiting. What happened, children? Kohima children, please type your answer. Yes, Kohima? Type your answer, please. Let's see what is diffusion. Type your answer. How would I know you know or not? What is diffusion? Let's see. Now suppose, I'm giving you a small example. Suppose you have a perfume at your home, isn't it? That is used by your elder sibling. It's a very nice perfume. She managed to get it, or he managed to get it from somewhere with very high difficulty, and they claim that that is theirs and you cannot use it. Okay, this happens many a times, isn't it? Do you agree? Our elder siblings, they are actually like this many a times. Don't you agree? So they have asked you not to touch their things, and that is a very special perfume. You won't be using that. Now supposedly you wish that, okay, can I use, like, they will never come to know about it. Okay, Satna, I am the elder one in my family. I am the eldest. Okay, fine. But surprisingly, I don't have any kind of issues because I have a brother. So he can never use my things. So we don't have those kinds of issues. So obviously, if the same gender, they have same gender, they have many problems. If it is gender different, they don't have much of issues. Like I don't have much of issues. So it happens, I know, however. So supposedly you know that your brother or sister, they are not, elder brother or sister, they are not going to come back after evening. Okay, they are going to come back at night, late night. So you want to go somewhere, you want to go to meet your friend. You are just coming to see your friend and you want to use that perfume. You'll be able to use it. You are using it, done, you used it. Now, immediately, from nowhere, your elder sibling appears. Okay, and he comes to know that, okay, you have used my perfume, isn't it? They come to know that you have used my perfume, isn't it? Tell me yes or no. They come to know. How? How they come to know? They come to know, yes, I know, they come to know. They have a very good sense. They can sense their perfume very nicely. So it's exactly the diffusion process. So when you are applying the perfume, obviously that is on higher concentration on your body, that starts to migrate to different directions where there is lower concentration of the same molecule, that is a perfume. So you actually radiate out, or you actually diffuse out the particular molecules from your body of the perfume to the neighboring areas, and in that way people come to know, okay, this is the fragrance, this is a nice perfume, isn't it? And similarly your brother or sister, your elder sibling, they also come to know, okay, that you have used my perfume, and they will be complaining to parents that you are using their things, and many things will follow subsequently, I know. So obviously this is a kind of process where what happens is, have very good answers from two centers. So there is what? There is movement of molecules. Very good. Movement of molecules. So what is diffusion? We will define movement of molecules from higher concentration, that is from your body, to lower concentration. that is to your sibling's nose. Obviously your sibling's nose is not having perfume now, so they will come to get to know that you have applied their perfume once they migrate to the lower concentration. So this is what is called as diffusion. So diffusion is going to be the basic mechanism of transport of gases when we are talking about respiration, when you're talking about gaseous exchange. This happens in us also. Same diffusion mechanism is used for exchange of gases in us also, but obviously in a higher evolved manner. This is very, very systematic. Not that whole body surface will be used. So what happens? The sponges inside their body, they have higher concentration of carbon dioxide, and outside there is lower concentration. Outside there is higher concentration of oxygen, but inside the body of a sponge, they have a lower concentration of oxygen. So what happens? Oxygen from their higher concentration, that is from outside, is going to inside of the sponge, that is enter inside of the sponge, and the carbon dioxide from the body of the sponge is going to migrate or diffuse out to the outside. So this is a simple mechanism of diffusion which is going to take place when you talk about sponges, coelentrates and flatworms. Am I clear? Are we done with this? Now how many of you have seen earthworms? How many of you have seen earthworms? Have you seen earthworm? You must have. How many of you have done fish baiting? How many of you have done fish baiting? How many of you have done fish baiting? Tell me. Catching fish on the... How many? Not done. Shillong, come on, you must have done. How many of you have done fishing? In your local pond, local river, how many? Come on, if I have done, you must have also done. How many of you have done? Tell me. Fish baiting? Nobody? Tetso, Kohima, come on. Shillong. So the fish, earthworm is a very, very famous fish bait. What we do is that we use a hook, small hook, and we put the earthworm on the hook for the bait to trap our fish. And what we do, we tie it with a long loop and a fishing rod, a handle, preferably a stick. Okay, any kind of stick it can be. We tie it and we put it in water and sit down and wait till the earthworm, it catches or it is trapped. The fish comes to eat the earthworm. It thinks that it is earthworm, it can eat it, but the hook actually gets inside the fish and the fish is trapped. This is what is fish baiting. You must have done or you must have seen that also. So this is what is earthworms. They actually use their moist skin for respiration. Their respiratory organ is their whole skin surface. And if you have seen earthworm, they are very, very, having very thin skin. So the skin needs to be thin and highly vascular, thin and richly supplied with blood. So this is in earthworms. Now next is talking about insects. So how many of you have seen insects breathing? They breathe through trachea, a special respiratory organ called as trachea. Then we have aquatic. Aquatic means the animals which are living in water. We have aquatic arthropods. What are arthropods? What are arthropods? We have aquatic arthropods and we have mollusks which are actually having gills. They are having gills for their respiratory organs. Next we have is mollusca. And what is mollusca? Mollusca is having lungs. Those mollusks which are living on land, this is the aquatic one, living in water. So can you give me an example of aquatic arthropod? Can you give me an example of this? Tell me, children. Can you give me an example of this? Aquatic arthropod. Yes, Shillong, Kohima, Satna, Tetsu College, and I can see one more center, but I don't have any idea. Just let me know which center is logged in apart from these 4 centers. Please. Yes. Name an aquatic arthropod. Children. Tell me. Tell me an aquatic arthropod. Have you heard about prawn? Have you heard about prawn? Tell me. Prawn, have you heard? Prawn? Yes. Prawn, have you heard? Kohima? Shillong? Tetsu? Have you heard about prawn? You must have, isn't it? So, aquatic arthropod, this is prawn. Example is, one of the examples is prawn. So, these aquatic arthropods like prawn, aquatic mollusk, they have gills as their respiratory organ. Next, moving ahead, we have fishes. What do fishes have? Yes, what do fishes have? Gills. And what do reptiles? Birds and mammals have? Tell me. Lungs. And what do frogs have? Frogs have moist skin, and when on land, they respire by lungs also. So, when we talk about mammals, the mammals, they have a well-developed respiratory system. They have a well-developed respiratory system, and by using this respiratory system, they are actually undergoing the process of exchange of gases, breathing and exchange of gases. Let's copy this. Yes, children, let me know if you have any problem up to this. Please let me know. Did you copy this? Any issues? Okay, fine. Done with copying, all of you? Let me know if you are done with copying. Please let me know. Yes, Shillong? Okay. Yes, Churachandpur, are you getting the things? Tell me. Okay, fine, very good. Keep it up. So, let's move ahead. Okay, Churachandpur, are you able to get what is being taught? So, let me start with human respiratory system. Isn't it? We will talk about ourselves now. All these stories about other organisms are over, and we're going to start with our respiratory system, that is human respiratory system. So when you talk about human respiratory system, what is the first thing comes into your mind? Tell me. You talk about human respiratory system, What's the first thing that comes into your mind? Yes, children? Churachandpur, tell me. Are you getting things? Churachandpur, Tetso, Satna, Kohima, Shillong. Are we clear up to this? Shillong told me there are 8 students in the class, but I can see more of them, isn't it? How many of you are in the class? I can see many students, in fact. Are there 8 only? See? I can see, or is it like reflection kind of thing? Only 8? Okay, fine. Only 8 of you are there or more? I don't know, it's like in the camera, it seems to be more. Okay, fine. No problem. Churachandpur, please reply. Are you getting things? Are we connected? Okay, we are 13. Then I don't know why somebody told me 8. Might be attendance at that time, might be 8. So, the whole system, exactly, whenever you think about human respiratory system, you think about lungs. But yes, what I will be defining is human respiratory system is basically made up of 2 components. The first would be called as respiratory tract. That is a proper systematic pipeline kind of thing through which air reaches to your respiratory organ. And what is the respiratory organ? That happens to be lungs. So this is the respiratory system of humans. Human respiratory system is composed of 2 components. The first being respiratory tract and the second being what? The second being the respiratory organ called as lungs. Let's see one by one all of them. The first thing, all the respiratory air, whatever you need to respire in, goes in your system by external nostrils. Isn't it? The external nostrils, they open into nasal passage, and the nasal passage, through the nasal passage, the external nostril opens into nasal chamber. Let's keep on marking the things. 1, 2, the parts of the respiratory system, respiratory tract, let's keep on marking. So external nostrils are the 2 holes that you can see on your face, on my face, on everybody else's face. That are the external nostrils. By nasal passage, they lead to nasal chamber, and your nasal chamber opens into nasopharynx. So what is nasopharynx? What is nasopharynx? What is called as nasopharynx? Let's see a small diagram to, let me show you a small diagram to explain that. What is nasopharynx? Sorry, this is oropharynx, Y and X. It's getting very untidy at the end, I don't know why. PHAR, pharynx, and the end part is called as laryngopharynx. Okay. So this is the whole system. So these all are parts of a single unit called as pharynx, and this pharynx happens to be the common passage for food as well as air. So this is the esophagus opening, the food pipe over here, this is esophagus, and this happens to be trachea. So out for on the anterior side is trachea, and just after trachea there is esophagus. So we have basically three parts in our pharynx. The first part happens to be the nasopharynx, the second oropharynx, and third laryngopharynx. See, nasopharynx is the part where your nose opens. When your nose is opening, that particular part is called as nasopharynx, and oropharynx is the particular part which opens into esophagus. So oropharynx is a part which is opening into esophagus. So whatever food you are putting in, whatever food you are swallowing, that follows the oropharynx part and then enters the esophagus. And similarly, we have laryngopharynx. Laryngopharynx is the last part which opens into the trachea. So this is the these are the three parts of a common structure called as pharynx, and pharynx happens to be what? Pharynx happens to be the common passage for food and air. Am I clear up to this? So this nasal chamber, this opens into what? This opens into nasopharynx. So nasopharynx happens to be the first part of the nasal chamber, first part of the pharynx. Now moving ahead, this nasopharynx through the glottis section. This nasopharynx through the glottis, this opens into trachea. So nasopharynx is going to open into trachea through the part called as glottis, and this glottis is having what? This glottis is having larynx or voice box or sound box. So these are the parts what larynx have. Glottis is opening into larynx, and there is a particular structure which becomes active when you are swallowing food. During swallowing food, glottis is covered by epiglottis, which is a thin flap like structure. And what is it made up of? This is made up of cartilage. So this is glottis, this is epiglottis. So what you have is basically, let's see once again what we did till now. We were actually studying about the human respiratory system. The human respiratory system is having two parts, the first being the respiratory tract and the second being the respiratory organ, that is lungs. So we started our respiratory tract with external nostrils as the first part. The external nostrils are the two holes that you can see on everybody's face, including yours obviously, and it opens into a space called as nasal passage, and this nasal passage opens into nasal chamber, and nasal chamber opens into nasopharynx. Now this nasopharynx enters into glottis, but glottis is having two parts. First, glottis is having larynx, voice box or sound box. The are three words similar that is used to produce voice from your vocal cords. And this glottis is basically covered. So food entry into glottis is prevented by a flap-like structure. Flap means a cap-like structure which is called as epiglottis. And this epiglottis is made up of what? It is made up of cartilage. How many of you know what is cartilage? Can you give me example of cartilage? You know? How many of you know about cartilage? And how many of you can give me example? Yes, Shillong? Tell me what is cartilage? Kohima, Tetso, Satna, Chuachandpur, tell me. What is cartilage? Yes. No. Diaphragm is a membrane. It's not cartilage. It's a membrane. It's not cartilage. See, this structure what I have drawn over here is the epiglottis type. This thing which I have drawn over here is the epiglottis thing. So this is present at the immediate opening of the trachea. Obviously there is glottis over here, there is epiglottis, glottis, larynx. So this is basically the pathway of the air. Exactly, soft bones with flexible. Example, Pinoff here, very good, Tetso College, very nice, keep it up. Soft bones, exactly, this is cartilage, isn't it? This is cartilage. These bones are called as cartilage bones. So you have basically a cartilage, this kind of structure which is preventing the entry of food in your respiratory system. Many times you must have noticed, if you are talking while eating, you are eating also and you are talking also, many times you have a cough-like response where you push back things, where you actually reflex back things that might have entered in your respiratory system. Isn't it? You must have noticed that thing. Water, food, many times they tend to enter in our trachea, and what is happening? An immediate abrupt coughing. Abrupt coughing is basically to throw back things that have entered in our trachea by mistake. So this is what is the particular structure of epiglottis supposedly doing with our system. Am I clear with this? Are we done with this? Tell me. Copied? Clear? So this opens into trachea. Let's talk about trachea. What is trachea? Trachea is basically a straight tube. This happens to be a straight tube, trachea, and this is made up of C-shaped cartilaginous rings. What is it made up of? It is made up of C-shaped cartilaginous rings. Again you have this cartilage term coming. So what is trachea? Trachea is made up of C-shaped cartilaginous ring, and the significance of cartilage rings, that is prevents the trachea from collapsing. So this prevents your trachea from collapsing. What? The typical C-shaped cartilaginous rings. This is of importance. Okay, tell me how many of you are aspiring for NEET or any such kind of exams? How many of you wish to aspire for NEET or any such kind of entrance exams? This flies back. Tell me how many of you? Nobody? Nobody wants to become a doctor? Okay, fine. No issues. Nobody wants to become a doctor, are you sure? Okay, I can see some hands in Shillong. Okay. Just give me a number. How many of you? Yes, how many of you want to become a doctor? How many of you want to become a doctor? Okay, Kohima 3. Okay, fine. Shillong, give me a number. Out of 13, how many? Then I will be telling you important things for NEET also, along with our board classes, along with your school schedule. I will just keep on telling you that these kinds of questions, they come in NEET or whatever kind of things. This fly is irritating, really? Tell me. Yes, please. Please. Thank you so much. Yes. Texo College, how many of you want to become a doctor? Nobody? Okay, no problem. Churachandpur? Okay, 2 of us, you are here, there, and how many of you want to become? Okay, 13 out of 13. Great. Then I need to design my class according to, isn't it? Okay, Texo College? I guess both of you want to become doctors, isn't it? Okay, fine. So this kind of question, I wanted to say this thing, this kind of questions, they come in exam where they ask you what is the functioning of these C-shaped cartilaginous rings. So this C-shaped cartilaginous rings, the function, actually for NEET there is no special thing, I will just tell you. You just need to concentrate on your NCERT books throughout the classes 11th and 12th. In both the classes 11th and 12th, you need to concentrate, focus on your NCERT books in such a way, you need to be serious. First of all, you need to be serious when you are in class 11th, and this is the right time. If you are aspiring, this is the right time. When the iron is hot, you need to strike now. So don't wait. If you wish to aspire for NEET, if you want to prepare for NEET, don't wait for a good day, it will come and then I will start the preparation, isn't it? Don't wait for the Muhurat. So start the thing today itself, because frankly speaking, the scenario is such that if you have a good command on 11th standard and 12th standard, since now there are high chances of you getting selected, and trust me, the selection ratio or the selection process is very easy. The questions in NEET are very easy. Obviously from biology section I am talking about. They are mainly questions, 80% questions are NCERT based, pure NCERT based. So this kind of questions, they do come in exams, that what kind of structure, what is the particular role of C-shaped cartilaginous rings. So you just need to give an answer that yes, this particular structure prevents the trachea from collapsing. This will not allow the trachea to collapse. Okay. Am I clear up to this? Tell me, children. Okay. Now let's move ahead. The trachea part is clear. Now let's move ahead and find out what is trachea going to do ahead. Now this trachea is going to, what about 20% questions? Obviously for that 20% questions you have to, 80% is NCERT based pure, and for 20% questions you need to have a concept based study of NCERT only. So if you are studying NCERT very dedicatedly, read it 30 times, 20 times, you will get to have new concepts, and obviously because of those concepts you will be able to solve the 20% also. But trust me, 80% question is too much. You need not solve 80% questions to get selected. You just need to have correct questions 60 to 70%. That's all to get a seat in NEET. You don't need to solve many questions. But yes, you should be aware that this is an exam which is having negative marking too. So be aware about the negative marking, be aware about its pattern, because it is something new for all of us. We will be running tests, don't worry, we will be running tests, we will be giving you, since I am like, I am having a conclusion that all of you want to become a doctor. I am having this conclusion, since I have got a response from Satna, I have got response from Kohima, Texo College. So all of you, I guess, do wish to 100% from Shillong in fact. So wish I would be giving you particular questions in that format only, that you will be able to solve the MCQs as well as, okay, did you attempt ever for NEET? Okay, fine, let's not discuss these kinds of questions. Okay, let's go ahead, move ahead, and we will be moving with the next type of trachea. And what is trachea doing? I need to get you selected for NEET. It's not necessary I should also be selected for NEET. Okay. So you need to have a good concept about biology, chemistry and physics. You need to have that concept. Okay, let's move ahead. So what is trachea doing? Trachea is basically a particular part which is dividing into primary bronchi. This is dividing into primary bronchi. Let's just have a rough structure What is primary bronchi? Okay, let's have a rough structure. This is my trachea, and where did it go? And this is how my trachea is dividing into two more structures. I don't know what is happening today. And then we have the cartilaginous rings, this trachea, this is primary bronchi, this is your right lung. Okay, let me rectify this. This is your right lung, and this is your left lung. So this is the primary bronchi. Bronchus. Singular is bronchus, plural is bronchi. Okay, so this is your left lung. Since you know, you have studying since long that the right side of the body is basically facing towards the left and the left part is facing towards the right. So this happens to be your right side now, and this is when you face it. Obviously when you face it, this opposite way you have to write. That's the way you used to write about heart. Remember, right auricle, right ventricle always used to be on this side and left on this side because you are facing it. Okay, it's your body, you are facing it, but if you are facing it the reverse order, it becomes correct. So if you are facing it, you need to have a opposite direction, an opposite direction for the same. Okay, fine. So we are having trachea which is dividing into primary bronchi, and the primary bronchi enters into each lungs. You can see, enters into, or better I say, enter into each of your lungs. One into right, one into left. Clear? Am I clear, children? Tell me yes or no. So did you copy up to this? All of you, Tetsu College, Shillong can just show me a thumbs up if they are done with copying, if they are understanding and everything. Okay, very good. Thank you. Kohima, Tetsu College, did you copy this? So what is the language you speak at Dimapur, Tetsu College? What is the language you communicate in? Yes? What is the local language you communicate with each other? Kohima, what is your local language? What do you speak? Shillong? Satna? All of you, let me know what is the local language or what is the particular language you speak at your place. Yes, Nagamese. Okay, Nagamese, I guess it's very much similar to English, I guess. Is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. And Satna, what do you speak? What do you speak at your place? And how many of you can understand Hindi? Hindi is local language, yes. I know. Okay, and how many of you can understand and speak in Hindi? Oh, a big population. Okay, yeah, I forgot. It is similar to Assamese, exactly. Okay, fine. Okay, similar to Hindi, Kohima? Khasi and Jantia, yes. I guess Khasi and Jantia are the names of the hills, isn't it? They are the particular hills, sacred groves are present over there. That is what they are famous for. Khasi and Jantia hills. I have studied. Okay, fine. Okay, nice. And how many of you know Hindi? How many centers? Okay, fine. Yes, I know. Nagaland is very common to speak in English. Okay, so you all of you know Hindi, I guess. Okay, Churachandpur, what about you people? Okay, so you know Sindhi also. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. Fine. So we have a large variety of diversity of languages, culture in India, and we are actually communicating with all the different cultures at the same time. It's nice. So let's move ahead. We will talk about the diversions of the particular divisions of the primary bronchi. So as soon as the primary bronchi enters the lungs, what happens with it? So when primary bronchi enters in the lungs, let's see a quick review. This is primary bronchi, this enters in the lungs, they start to divide again. This is the secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, then we have the bronchioles, and the bronchioles, they divide into terminal bronchioles, and the terminal bronchioles, they give rise to sac-like structures called alveoli. They give rise to this kind of irregular sac-like structures called alveoli. Let's see, this is the primary, 1 degree I will be writing primary, 2 degrees secondary, this is tertiary, this is bronchiole, this is terminal bronchiole, and this happens to be the alveoli. Let's see. So primary bronchi, what happens? Primary bronchi divides into secondary into tertiary, and tertiary, let me write bronchiole, and when bronchi is over, they start to divide into bronchioles. And these bronchioles, they are finally ending into terminal bronchioles, and these terminal bronchioles, they give rise to thin, irregular, bag-like structure called as alveoli. So this is the whole story, how the respiratory tract is designed, how our respiratory tract is designed. Done? Let me know if you have any doubts up to this. Yes, children? Okay, very good, Jia. Yes, sure. More up? More. This one, this slide, Kohima? Which slide? Let me know please. This slide? This? I guess my image is coming over it. This one? Okay. Okay, I guess my image is coming over the diagram, so you can copy this way. Are we done up to this, all of you? Done up to this? All of you. So who is going to tell me the exact sequence of things? Centers, let me know the exact sequence. Starting from external nostril to alveoli, just give me the exact sequence of all the parts of respiratory tract. Who is going to give me the answer first? Respiratory tract, whole scenario, fastly. From the external nostrils to alveoli, come on. Be fast. Start typing. Start typing. One of you from every center, please type it. Starting from the external nostrils to alveoli, the passage. Yes, please. Come on, be fast. Let me see which center replies first. You don't have a chair over there, Shillong? Child, you take a chair, you take a bench, something, and sit and type comfortably. Don't be uncomfortable, just sit first comfortably and then type. Just make some arrangement to sit over there. There must be a chair or bench. Pull it, sit comfortably. Yes. Or ask your coordinator to provide something to sit. Yes, exactly. Tetsu College, type your answer. See, Shillong people have started typing. Satna, type your answer. Kohima, start typing. Churachandpur, I guess we are not connected with Churachandpur. They would have replied by now. Yes, see, all the centers are typing. Be fast. I need the first answer, obviously correct answer, not the incorrect one. Question, I asked you to write the names of all the parts starting from external nostrils to the alveoli. The exact sequence of all the parts. Yes, you can take help from everybody. It's a group activity. All of you need to participate. Don't gossip. Don't talk. I will be asking your coordinator to give you extra time to talk. Yes, Shillong. Help your friend. Help your mate in writing the answer. All of you have got the question. The question is clear. All of you have got the question. The question is clear. Carefully write all the parts in a sequence. Sequence disturbed, wrong means no answer, no marks. Okay. Answer fast. Yes, children, buck up. Come on. Don't mention oropharynx in this because oropharynx is a part of Kohima, what is this? Don't mention oropharynx because oropharynx is a part of your digestive system, not your respiratory system. Okay? So please, I told you then also that oropharynx opens into esophagus. So it is not a part of respiratory system, but it is a part of digestive system. Okay? So don't write oropharynx. Just rectify your concept also, rectify your answer also. Need not type again. If you typed oropharynx, let it be. It's okay. Just note it in your mind that you will not include oropharynx in the respiratory system. Yes, Shillong. What is taking so long? Please be fast. Kohima, isn't your answer very short? Don't you think so? You did not mention all the parts. So I am not going to give you marks for this. This is incorrect. Shillong, why would esophagus come in this part? Tell me. Why would esophagus come in this part? Why would air enter into your esophagus? Huh? Okay, everybody write the correct sequence. Let's write. All of you write down the correct sequence. I'm dictating you. Write it down. Right. Any other center left to answer? They wish to answer. I got answer from Satna, Kohima, Shillong. I don't know where is Tetso College. Why they are not answering? Tetso, please answer. No issues. Don't be sorry for it. It's okay. Let's write down the correct sequence. Okay, all of you, please write down. It is external nostrils. All of you write down. I'm dictating. External nostrils. Nasal chamber. External nostrils, nasal chamber, nasopharynx. External nostrils, nasochamber, nasopharynx, laryngopharynx, epiglottis, laryngopharynx, epiglottis. I am repeating once again from the beginning. External nostrils, just rectify if you have missed something. We have external nostrils, nasopharynx, laryngopharynx, sorry, external nostrils, nasal chamber, sorry, external nostrils, nasal chamber, nasopharynx, laryngopharynx, epiglottis, glottis, epiglottis, glottis, larynx, L-A-R-Y-N-X, larynx or voice box, larynx or voice box, trachea, primary bronchi. Just let me know if you miss out something. Please let me know. Trachea, primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, bronchioles, bronchioles, terminal bronchioles, and alveoli. So, which of the following has narrowest passage? Which of the following? Do this question and after, I will be giving you a break after that. First do this question. Which of the following? Yes, at the same time everybody is asking for a break. Yes, I will be giving. First do this question please. Which of the following has narrowest passage? Trachea, primary bronchi, terminal bronchiole or secondary bronchi. Obviously primary bronchi left means of the left lung and secondary bronchi right means of the right lung. Yes, tell me. Shillong, answer this question first, then only I am going to give break. Otherwise, no break. Answer this question first, all of you. Okay, very good. Shillong, you are the only one left to answer. Please answer. The sooner you will answer, the earlier you are going to get a break. You people can also type, children sitting on the first bench, you can also get up and type. Yes, you can also. Why you are like always looking at them since they are sitting on the last bench? You people can also get up and type. It's a coordinated effort. Whosoever knows the answer, whosoever can type on everybody's behalf. Yes. Okay. Shillong, please type. I did not get an answer. So I guess we all are very much convinced that trachea is the first part, which is going to break into two bronchi, each entering into left and right lung. The primary bronchiole is exactly very good. The primary bronchiole, left or right, either ways, they are not going to be thin because they are further breaking into secondary bronchi. Secondary further breaks into tertiary, and tertiary breaks into bronchiole, and finally we have terminal bronchiole. So the correct answer for this question is terminal bronchiole. Very good. All of you answered correctly. So you deserve a break of 5 minutes. Not more than 5 minutes, please. We'll resume the class at 5:35. Take it 7 minutes. Okay. Okay, children, are we back from the break? Tell me. I wish to show you something. Are all of you back from the break? Yes, Shillong, Satna. Yes, tell me. Are we back from the break? Yes. Okay, fine. Shillong, all of you are back from the break. So, I told you, all of you are back? All of you are back, Shillong? Okay, fine, very good. So, let's see a GIF over here. I told you that epiglottis prevents the entry of food in your glottis, isn't it? So, this is a GIF which is going to show that how epiglottis bends down and your food comfortably travels in your esophagus to get into your stomach. See, this epiglottis is a flap-like structure, the flap closed. The flap closed and it prevented the entry of food in your trachea. So, this is the flap-like structure we were talking about. See, how smoothly it closes. So, when you are speaking, when you are talking while eating, what happens is, this epiglottis, so when you are expiring out, if you notice, when you are expiring out, then only the sound is produced, isn't it? So, if epiglottis remains open and at the same time you swallow your food, there is a confusion and the food by mistake might enter in your trachea. And that trachea, what it does is that it is lined by epithelium, it is lined by cilia. So, we have studied cilia with paramecium. We know cilia are small brush-like epithelium, brush-like structures which actually beat. So, this cilia is going to propel back, or it is going to force back your food into your upper respiratory part, into your pharynx, into your mouth, sometimes through nose also. We have the food reverse, and in that way trachea prevents the entry of food in your lungs. Am I clear? So, this was a small GIF that was showing you the particular passage. Let's resume our class. So, we are having a question and all of you answered it very, very correctly. I was happy. Very good, keep it up. Let's move ahead. Now, we will talk about lungs. We are going to talk about lungs. We are done with the alveoli section. We are going to talk about lung part. So, how many lungs do you have? Tell me. How many lungs do you have? How many lungs do you have? Yes. How many? All of you, Shillong? Don't sleep, please. Yes, I know it was a hectic day. I understand. So, you have obviously 2 in number. Your lungs are 2 in number. That is your left lung and your right lung. These lungs are covered by, let's talk about the structure of the lungs, covered by double layered pleura. Double layered pleura. And this pleura, obviously if it is double layered, it must be having 2 layers. One must be outer and one must be inner, isn't it? This outer one is attached or associated. This is closely associated with thoracic cavity. And this is in contact with your lungs. And in between the outer and the inner part, you have some space, and the space is called as pleural cavity. And and this pleural cavity is filled with pleural fluid. Let me write the spelling clearly for you. It is Pleural, fluid. The exact role of pleural fluid, if we talk about the exact functioning, is to decrease friction. So if you have friction, obviously the particular point where you are having expansion and inflation and deflation going on in your lungs, you need to reduce the pressure, friction. So for that friction, reducing of the friction, what we have is, we have a pleural fluid which is basically acting as, in a similar way, the engine oil acts in your engine. So you put engine oil in your engine, in your automobiles. So what they do is that they reduce the friction. Similarly, this pleural fluid is also doing the similar kind of role. They are going to decrease the friction. Okay? Am I clear? Let's see once again. Lungs covered by double layered pleura, and it is outer inner. The outer is attached to the thoracic cavity, that is the outer part, and it is attached to the lungs. In between the pleural membranes, you have pleural cavity which is filled with pleural fluid. The function is to reduce friction. Okay? Are we done? Let me know if you are done with copying. Shillong, just give me a thumbs up if you have copied. Texo College, please type your answer if you have understood. Satna, got it? Kohima, Churachandpur, let me know if things are clear, all of you. Okay, fine. Thank you so much. So now I will be again dividing. I will be writing one more point. The point from your external nostrils to your terminal bronchiole. It's a long way, we know. This whole section, that is from external nostril to terminal bronchiole, is called as the conducting part. What is it? It is the conducting part. And when we talk about alveoli, when we talk about ducts from respiratory or exchange parts of, this is form, not from, I'm sorry. So alveoli and ducts form the respiratory or exchange part of the respiratory system. So we basically, again we have two parts, the respiratory part, conducting part. Respiratory part is also called as exchange part. So the whole scenario, whole parts from the external nostrils to the terminal bronchiole is said to be the conducting part. Obviously this is the respiratory tract that we called it when we were defining it. This was the respiratory tract. Tract is the particular pathway your system follows to reach the main organ. So this is the respiratory tract, and this respiratory tract is constituted of external nostrils and terminal bronchioles. All these particular things coming in between are included in the conducting part or respiratory tract. Then we have alveoli and ducts which form the respiratory or exchange part. So I gave you an example of diffusion. Same kind of diffusion is going to take place when you talk about exchange of gases. So exchange of gases is also basically because of diffusion process. So the basic function of conducting part is what? If we talk about the conducting part, the function of conducting part, if a question comes you, what is the function of conducting part? You will be writing number 1, transport, obviously. Number 2, filters. Number 3, humidifies. Humidifies means it adds moisture to the air what you are inspiring in. Humidifies and brings air to body temperature. So these are the 4 functions when we talk about the parts. So it's transport, filter, humidifies. Humidifies means if you are, like suppose if you are inhaling in very, very dry air, the functioning of the conducting part is to basically add some moisture to the air so that the air is not harming your system. Okay, and at the same time, if you are inhaling very, very hot air, obviously you need a system that prevents the inhalation of hot air too. It makes it somewhat cooler compared to the outside. Similarly, when you are inhaling very cold air, that cold air is also warmed a little so that you don't have any problem. So in this way, these are the particular functions of your conducting part, and these are very, very important. You know how the filtering is done? You have hairs in your nose. You do have hairs in your nose, and those hairs, what they are supposed to do, they are supposed to trap all the foreign particles if they happen to enter inside your nose, isn't it? Correct me if I am wrong. Is it? It must be, isn't it? So you have hair, you have mucus. That hair and mucus, what they do is that they trap the things. Whatever tries to enter, they trap it and prevent it entering from entry into the lungs. So in this way, your system is very, very protected. There is adding some moisture. You add some moisture to it. Should not be very dry, and obviously you need to regulate your temperature too, because you cannot send very, very hot air, very, very cold air into your system. That would be obviously damaging for you. That can damage your system. So this is the basic role what we are talking about when this conducting part. So thus thinking about that what is conducting part is doing, conducting part is not playing any important role, would be partial, isn't it? We will be partial on the part of conducting part, obviously. So you need to understand that every part has an important role. It has a very, very important aspect in its own. Like if alveoli is supposed to help you in exchange, at the same time, the parts from external nostril to bronchiole, they help in many other things that is not actually exchange of gases, but transport, filter, humidification, and bringing the air to your body temperature. So these are the basic activities what your conducting parts are supposed to do. So let's move ahead again. We will be moving ahead with the lungs. Let's talk about lungs once again. So the major respiratory organ in humans, major, because we have some accessory organs also, like we have skin, we have kidney, respiratory organ, I'm taking. So this is a major respiratory organ in human, only respiratory organ in human. The lungs which are present where? Present in thoracic cavity. So thoracic cavity is what? This is an airtight chamber. This happens to be an airtight chamber. So airtight means there is no chance of escape of any air from any side. So let's see what is it formed of. It's formed of vertebral column. It is formed of sternum. It is formed of ribs, and it is formed of diaphragm. Let's see. So this is, look at me children, all of you. So this is your ventral side. Look at me all of you, all the centers, children. This is your ventral side. This is your dorsal side, the back part. Okay, that is the dorsal side. This is ventral, V-E-N-T-R-A-L. This is dorsal. This is anterior. The next opposite to anterior is posterior. And these are your lateral sides. Once again, let's see. Ventral, dorsal, anterior, posterior, and this happens to be the lateral, L-A-T-E-R-A-L sides. So your thoracic cavity is an airtight chamber which is basically covered from all the sides in a way that there is no chance of escape of any of the air or entry of air from any other place rather than the respiratory tract. So vertebral column is covering the chamber from the back side. You have a vertebrae on the back side, so it's dorsal. Sternum is the particular bone to which your rib cage attaches. This happens to be the ventral because you have sternum right in between. This is sternum. A bone in the shape of a dagger. Dagger is khanjar. I don't know how many of you know khanjar. So it's dagger shaped bone, just in shape of a khanjar. This is ventral, on the ventral side, and ribs are present on the lateral sides, this sides. And obviously diaphragm on the posterior or on the lower side. So in this way you make your thoracic cavity an airtight chamber, covering it from all the possible parts you can. Okay, let me know if things are not clear anywhere. This is all like we are going to do in this class. Let's have a quick revision. First tell me if the things are not clear. Ventral is clear to everybody? All the centers? Tetso, Kohima, Satna, Shillong. Very good. Chuachandpur. All of you. Ventral is clear to all of you. Shillong, just give me a thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up. Ventral is clear? Okay, very good. Lateral, dorsal. Yes, dorsal. Very good. Anterior, posterior, all the things are clear? Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Yes. Good, Kohima. Very good, Satna. Keep it up. Tetso College. Did we lost our connection? Have we lost our connection? Tell me. Tetso College. Oh yes, I guess I was thinking you must have lost because you were not there since long. Okay, copy this. This was function of the conducting part. Okay, in the meantime, rest of the centers, just let me know if the functions of the conducting part are clear to one and all. Is it clear? Yes, very good. Keep it up. Nice. Satna? Yes. So you need to learn all these things. Okay? You have to learn all these things to write in your school exam as well as in your NEET. Okay? Once you understand, you have to learn. First understand things, develop a concept, and then start learning. Don't start mugging up things. Okay? Fine. Tetso College, are you copying? Please let me know if you're copying. So we learned a lot today. We learned many things today. We learned that what are the different kinds of respiratory organs a prawn is having, an earthworm is having, a fish is having, isn't it? So we were like supposedly before the class we were not having so much of knowledge. Were we? Did you learn something new in this class? Did you learn something new in this class? Did you? Okay, fine. I guess yes, you must have, because obviously 11th is a bit more elaborated than whatever you have learned in your class 10th. But yes, it is easy. It's not that difficult. So we learned about respiratory organs, then we talked about human respiratory system, isn't it? Let me know, Tetso College, if you have done with this copying, I will be giving you another slide. If you have done, just let me know, Tetso College. So you are aware with different types of respiratory systems the organisms are having. Then we talked about the human respiratory system. Following it, the human respiratory system, we talked about the respiratory passage, then the conducting part, obviously respiratory passage or conducting part, same thing. Then we talked about the organs of respiration, then we saw the construction of the respiratory organ, that is how the lungs are placed. The lungs are placed in your thoracic cavity, and your thoracic cavity happens to be an airtight chamber. So we learned a lot, obviously. So we need to go back home and we need to revise things, we need to learn things, and yes, please be back with all these things revised, learned in the next class. That would be great, because if you start learning from first class onwards, the things will not be that cumbersome for you at the end of the day. Okay, Tetso College, please copy this, or if you have copied, just let me know. So all the centers, are we like done with everything in today's class? Do you have any doubt? Just let me know if you have any doubts. All the centers, just let me know if you have any doubts. You need to see, or you need to talk to your coordinator, Satna. I'm not aware about the schedule. You need to see, or you need to talk to your coordinator for that. Okay, fine. So we will be wrapping up our class over here, and in the next class we will be starting with steps of breathing, steps of respiration. Okay, so let's meet again in the next class, and yes, have a nice time. Thank you so much. See you again soon. Okay, bye-bye. Take care. Good night.